What if success isn't the answer? What if, despite climbing the ladder, hitting every milestone and proving yourself over and over, you still feel empty, you're not alone, and more importantly, there's nothing wrong with you. 50% of executives report feeling lonely. 1 in 3 entrepreneurs experience depression. High achievers are 7 times more likely to struggle with ADHD and anxiety. Why? Because we've been sold a lie that success or achievement equals fulfillment. But what if the very thing that's driving you forward is also holding you back? If you've ever felt like you should be happier, if you've ever questioned why more never feels like enough, if you've ever wondered if you're chasing the wrong kind of success, this episode is for you. This isn't just another conversation. It's a movement, a space for high achievers who are ready to break free from burnout and redefine success on their terms. In this episode, we're diving into what's really going on beneath the surface and how you can reclaim your energy, your joy, and your life. You're not broken. You're just unfinished. Join the conversation. Welcome to the Unsealing community. I'm joined by Dr. Ardeshir Mehran, a groundbreaking psychologist and author who reveals why high achievers struggle with fulfillment and what you can do about it.
Ardeshir, thank you so much for being here. I am so happy and honored that you're here with us today. And I know that people are going to get a lot from what we're going to talk about today, because the world tells us that depression and anxiety are personal issues and personal struggles, and they're just inside of us. But what if there's signals that we're not finished, that there's work for us to do? And they're not signs of personal failure, but pointing to something deeper, something unmet, an untapped potential, or even an external force that's holding us back. So today, let's start with that. And I really want to discuss how high potential achieving women and men, mostly women because of this podcast, can navigate external forces that suppress our potential, and how understanding the emotional bill of rights, which you have put together, can be a game changer for us.
Wonderful. What a great introduction, Natalie. Thank you so much to be with you and with your listeners about having a different look. I don't mean, the seeing things. There's a statement, I'm not sure who said it. This is about not seeing things deeper. It's about seeing things differently. But when you go there, you realize that we've been fed, and me included, a lot of mindset research-based practices about mental illness, emotional struggle, resiliency, burnout, that once you start to look at them from a different lens, you realize there's a different reality. Instead of working harder, trying to resolve things, to do intensive program, I need more accountability, better app, you realize actually the answer is in a whole different ways. It's about different ways of seeing and different ways of doing. And that's what I'm looking forward to share with you and invite your listeners about. Actually, the answer is right around you, is in front of you, and you don't have to work harder. You just need to do things differently.
I love that. So when we take a look at executive success and we imagine confidence and drive and purpose, what your book has shared is that an estimated 50% of executives suffer from depression and anxiety. And among entrepreneurs, almost a third experience depression and ADHD.
That's right.
And it's 7 times more common than the regular population. These statistics suggest something deeper is at play beyond just our personal resilience. Why do you believe that it's so much higher in these high achievers? Does achieving cause these problems, or when you have this, you achieve more?
Wonderful. To get really direct, resiliency is what kills us. There's a culture of resiliency. Just go do search on Amazon, on Google about resiliency. Is the trait we trying to teach our children, and in the world of work, high achievers, we glamorize resiliency. What is resiliency? Is the ability to bounce back. Life hit us all in the face. Adversity and conflict, issues happen. Resiliency is that hit the rock bottom, get up, and go forward again. What we know and what my book shows us, there are two vectors of being a full human being: achievement and fulfillment. They run side by side in parallel. So what we see, the statistic you mentioned, is about high-achieving individuals that they crush it. They were from their teenage years, girls or boys, they learn to get good grades, go to good colleges, like get good jobs, get promoted, make money, marry the right partner, and always push the limit to achieve. There's a science that nobody's taught us, and that what my book is contributing, yet it existed, that to be a fulfilled human being is not about achieving. Is a difference between doing and being. Doing and being. We haven't been taught how do you be, and about science of fulfillment. Mental illness is when this fulfillment is out of whack. Either we didn't get enough, or what we were experiencing was warped, violated, or fragmented. So that's what happens with those individuals. Let me give you another statistic. 19, Harvard Business Review, the premier management journal, actually globally, published a survey of top CEOs in the United States. Up to 50% of CEOs reported being lonely. 50%. This is not lonely at the top. This is lonely as a lifestyle. So when you talk about loneliness, that's the code name for depression, anxiety. You got to the top and you feel lonely. You're isolated. Those are my clients. I've been working with them, and you realize there's a different story, personal struggles that high achievers know it's there, getting to the point, I don't even know what to do with it. I don't want to admit that I'm isolated. I don't have a good relationship with my partner. I'm not even enjoying myself, my body. So what happens when you're lonely, when you have those statistics you mentioned, there are downstream impact. Gastrointestinal, mostly in women. Cardiovascular, mostly in men. And there's a reason why is that. A lot of shoulder, back pain, migraine, body pain. What we know in the United States, every day in primary care departments, every day, up to 1/3 of visits is due to depression. Doctors know it. They don't quite know what to do with it. You don't tell the patients, you need to go see a therapist. So it's something called pill for a nail. They ask for medication. Give me something, doctor. And they know the patient will be back. And the reason they know that their charts, medical chart, is thicker than rest of the patients. And because they keep coming back, talking about the same symptoms, and they ask for MRI, for X-ray, doctor says there's nothing wrong with you. Patients don't believe it because they're aching. It's a depression and anxiety unhealed and unaddressed. So that's the work we need to do, that actually it's not about the pain. Pain is trying to tell you, dear friend, wake up. You're in a different neighborhood. Go home. Come back home and find yourself.
And it's so funny because you think achievement brings fulfillment.
Yeah.
That's what you would think.
Yeah.
You might tell yourself, when I get to that level, then I will feel
Then,
achieved.
exactly. And you keep going. It's like a thoroughbred horse. And you keep going and going. You achieve a lot and say that it doesn't feel like that. Then it's the next thing.
Yeah. Go for that next thing. Oh my gosh. So we need to definitely have a mind shift on this.
Yeah.
So when we think about female leaders in particular, what are some of the societal structures that keep them going after
And going.
the next?
So for the number of years I've been working with men and women leaders, there's a difference in how men and women approach well-being, fulfillment, very distinct. So, and we know it's come from the research. Women in their journey of becoming better is inside out and men from outside in. So let me describe what it means. When male executives or a father calls me, usually their issue is that if I get the next role, if I get the next job, if I get the next promotion, if I get a better car, a better home, or better spouse, like a different girlfriend, then I would feel better. So it's always something outside or make my pain go away. I'm aching. So a number of men call me, their heart racing, it goes, they have a cardiovascular, high blood pressure, and doctor says that you are under a lot of stress. So they're trying to put their worlds in order, then come back for them to feel better. Women, it's different. Women, the story is that somewhere along the line of me growing up, starting almost like pre-teenage year, they had to compromise. A young girl, a young teenager, a young college student had to look good, have a good body, good school grade, have a good boyfriend, be the high school queen, and all of that to fit in. And so when they come to see me, the question is that I don't even know who I am anymore. And there's a girl in me that is somewhere it was lost and never fully experienced herself. And there's an exercise in one of my chapter of my book is the I am, the need I am. They say that I don't even know my voice, but I know somehow it got morphed and changed along the way. Right. So what you're looking is about, I want to find me. So what is interesting in the work that I do with women executives or mothers, you can almost know the trajectory of their getting well. By this third or fourth session, they write me, usually the text or WhatsApp, saying that I'm exhausted. I feel overwhelmed, a lot of tears coming out. My emotions like a tornado coming, overtake me. Is this normal? My answer to them is, welcome. You're starting to feel yourself. That basically, and I share with them that your emotions, they've been dormant for decades. For you to fit in as a mother, as a spouse, as an executive, and now you feel stronger enough. You're paying attention to them. They were always there, but you didn't have a space for them. So as they're coming is for you to see all the shades of your emotions and then to decide what you want to do based upon your values, your goals, the person you live in, the children you have. But women is the journey of, I want to find me. Some of them, when they come to realize that I need to rediscover or reset my relationship with my spouse, my partner, with my boss, that I've compromised too much of me. There's a numbness that in me. With men, it's the other way around. When they go to that exercise, what they're asking is that I need a space, distance from my spouse to find me. So usually they take a marital sabbatical, go on a long weekend or go play golf and they come back. Women say, no, I need a different conversation. I need a different set of boundaries. So in reality, we need them both, men and women, but women is inside out. Let me find me so I can prioritize me as a full person being in this life. My choices, my voice, my priorities, my feelings. Men is that, what are the things available to me? Check, 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 check. Okay, now I feel better.
That is so interesting. It's so fascinating. And when I'm talking with women about leadership and the women that are taking this journey to being their best self, it is definitely an inside out. Like, I love the title Unsealing You, because to me, it's, yes, the ceiling above our head, but it's also unsealing, like unwrapping, like discovering.
Right. That's what it is, discovering. It's a journey of finding yourself. So emotional pain, depression and anxiety, ADHD, all of that, they're signal that there's a discovery is waiting for you. That the way you've been living your style, your pattern, they have passed their expiration date. It's time. You can ignore it and your pain will get worse. Your pain, your physical pain, your migraine pain, your tuning out will get worse. Pain is an invitation to come home, to rediscover yourself.
I love that. It's hard work.
It is crazy hard work. But here's the part. The reason it's hard work, this goes even to scripture, to all the Eastern philosophy. It's hard work, but actually it's not. Because the sheer fact is a hard work, it seems, oh my gosh, things are so out of whack. I need to do a lot of things. Actually, no. You just need to sit still. You need to slow down. There are several things that are essential for this work. There's 3 things that are always needed. Starts with noticing. Noticing, where am I? Who am I with? What's going on inside me? What are the emotions I have? You just notice, and your body, your mind, your spirit start to rejigger. You notice. Next thing, the work of doing this work, you need to be in contact of people who are on your side. The journey of greatness coming home is a contact sport. We cannot do it alone. For us to heal, to get better, we need to tell our story. And our story needs to be heard by somebody who is not there to give us advice or give us accountability or give us this, come on, snap out of it. What's wrong with you? You're already executive vice president. What's up? Somebody hear our story, because we're telling our story. We are telling it to ourselves, and somebody honor us. And the third one is that when angst, things come up, overwhelm come up, basically means you're opening your safe deposit box and you see all these things. Oh, look at this, look at that. So you need to see what's come up, a signal that will guide you. I have work to do here. There's this relationship, or that person, or that memory. So notice, connection, and see stuff that come up, a signal, the breadcrumb that show you the path.
Love that. So one of the things that you make an argument in is, and you're making the case here that depression is not a mental health issue. It's an indication of unfinished growth.
That's right.
And so when we hit our glass ceiling, maybe we're in an organization, there's no more room to grow as it appears. What's the real issue? Is it really external and maybe perhaps discrimination? Or is it something else, like maybe internal loss of agency? What can you do to live fully?
So another way to think about depression is disconnection. Disconnection means that to your true self, and each person's self is different. You have different capability, different aspiration, different way of life trajectory. When we go through life and choices we need to make, the job, the bosses, the marital, almost always there are compromises. Life is about series of compromises, choices we have, and what are we going to do. Early in life, as a kid, we don't have a choice. We live with what's given to us. So a lot of depression has the childhood roots, have trauma roots, because we learn to compromise to survive, not to get hurt, to just get the basic need for what we want. Then we go to school, the friends we have, the world of work, college, and so on. There are always compromises to be made for us to fit in, to claim to be at the table, to glass ceiling, be around the table. The question is, what compromises are you making? And come to your agency. Agency means we all have internal power, internal mastery. The internal power you were born with. This is your right. Parents, teachers, politicians, they don't give it to you. You have that. Once you give your power away, that's the beginning of depression. And that you literally feel you almost like if people can see me, your body start to shut down. You start to you can tell by who is depressed, even by the way they walk. It's a very tentative walk. It's a hesitant walk, the shoulder. So depression is about what have you lost? And what do you know that belongs to you? You know it, but you say, no, not now. Maybe I wait. I need this job. I need this role. I need this partner. And you tolerate. What we tolerate, if it's not meant for us, that's what kills us.
It's kind of interesting what you're saying, and I want to lead this to the next question. I tend to record these podcasts in groups, so I have a theme for the first season. And the first season, I really wanted to take a deep dive into internal barriers. And I invited a group of women to be on the podcast. And before we launched the first season, I had a pre-launch party, and I invited all of these folks to meet one another. They didn't know one another. And there's one lady, the first lady that was my first interviewee, Jennifer, and that's on episode 2, because my first was a trailer. And she is a senior vice president in a financial services department. Currently, she's still working that job. She also authors books, and she's a speaker, and she runs a retreat. She's doing a lot of different things. And so while she was on the call with all of us, she had said, before I started doing all these things, I was burned out.
Yeah.
And now that I'm doing these things, I'm not. And one of the other ladies said, wait a second.
Yeah.
You're telling me you're a senior vice president, and after you piled on all of these things, you're not burned out. But before you were. And so my question for you is, in thinking about this loss of, how do high achieving women differentiate between burnout and a deeper loss of purpose?
Yeah. So deeper loss of purpose and burnout. Burnout is another code word for anxiety.
Oh.
And burnout, so the way we as a living dynamic organism respond to the world, there's a stress, there's anxiety, and anxiety can be labeled by society as burnout. Stress means that stuff happened. You go, you fall, there's a sound, you get an email, you get a phone call, you get hypervigilant and your body tenses up. What does it mean? Your stomach start to produce adrenaline and cortisol, which they go to your extremities, to your brain, to your mind, even to your cognitive way, as a way for you to respond to something. You need to do something, answer a call, run away, or take care of a business, something that appeared to you. It becomes anxiety when that pattern becomes a way of being, pattern, consistent. So the phone call's gone away, you took care of it, but still you're hypervigilant. At that point, anxiety becomes a trait. And that's basically means that people who are anxious, they have leaky gut, means like diarrhea, like the stomach issues. They go to doctor a lot, they take all sort of medication for that, or they have a racing heart. Burnout is actually, the term burnout is relatively new since late 80s, 90s. Actually, it came from the hospital settings, the clinical work, and from the operating room. That doctors are their surgeons, nursing, and the patient after patient coming, there's a lot of going. At a certain point, they reach the maximum. I just need to exhale. I need a space. But you can't. There's the next patient coming. They will go to burnout. Burnout means a thoroughbred horse that never gets a chance to catch its breath, exhale, get ready for the next topic coming. Burnout is about agency and a sense of control. Your control has been taken away from you. You've been dictated to do this, to do that, to do that. We can be introducing burnout to ourselves. You see this, especially my brother was working in Wall Street. People who always on from sunrise to sundown, because wealth gets created and you need to be there. So they go home. Many people start to drink, drug, and they just collapse. Burnout happens when you are in a place that you just have no control, but you feel you need to do and do and do. You see it in a lot of high achieving women and men. There's a promotion coming, there's a project coming. I need to do very well. I need to crush it. I need to look good. I go on and on. Deep down, it's not their purpose. They feel they need that to feel better.
Oh.
So here's the kicker. I'm an entrepreneur. I work a lot harder than when I was inside the corporation, a lot harder. But it's my choice. I'm learning a lot more, many new skills, but it's my choice. I want it. And if something doesn't pan out, something I don't like, I cross it off, do something else. Burnout is when you're doing something and deep down you feel it's not for me. I need to do it to get certain accolade. But if you are true to yourself, is your agency that I'm being honest with me, there's an inside out energy coming, conviction that drives you.
That really actually helps me because, this, what I'm doing here is my agency. It is my passion.
Yes.
And I actually do my 9-to-5 job so much better because I'm doing this.
Yes, that's right. It gives a sense of meaning and a sense of life integrity. I know what I'm doing.
Yes.
I'm doing this, but I'm also doing this. You feel full. These are all your choices, choices. And that, as a way, when we raise families with our kids, there are a lot of, you should do this. But for children, even at the very age, what are the choices they have? Let them enjoy it. Let them decide on the room, on the carpet, on the book, where their socks, and go here. They learn about, I can have a voice. I can design something, give them a space, versus a lot of high-achieving parents who are anxious. They end up having the same types of children, high-achieving kids who are anxious because do, as mom and dad tell you.
I see. So you developed what you call the Emotional Bill of Rights. It's a set of 7 core rights that people need to feel complete. And it's not about doing.
Yeah.
For women in the workplace who are often dismissed or sometimes overlooked depending on their workplace, or even feel pressure to prove themselves, how can embracing these rights help them take back their power?
Yeah. So wonderful. Those 7 needs, they belong to all humans. We all have them. All throughout the human history, they all existed. And doesn't mean we need to go all 7 of them experience it at the same time. These are lifelong, and we are wired as mammals and communal mammals to experience them. The journey of, I'm very deliberate calling them rights. These are given to you by sheer fact you're a human being born with your current DNA. Parents don't give it to you, teachers, and so on. What the role of parents is to make sure you know them, you experience them, and you learn to claim them. Those rights, the very first right is a sense of you belong. You belong to a community of a parent, to neighbors, to family, that they are there like your tribe to shelter you, to be there for you. And there's a quality of being. With women, what I'm seeing, when they come to see me, so men and women, those rights, they play different music, almost you can see. So those 7 rights, and it's in my book. And in fact, folks, when they go to my website, in the tab, Bill of Emotional Right, there's a PDF they can download. There's a scale, they can read about it, or have so many podcasts and articles about it. Women, you can tell the story of a woman's health and trajectory of life in 3 or 4 different of those rights. One of them is sense of belonging. Many women, they're in relationship, but deep down feel unseen, isolated, and they just want partner see me about what I'm showing and which part I'm not showing, and I am evolving. They want space to see me and allow me to change, to be myself. So there's a part of belonging, which is about love, tension, and seeing the sense of connection. You feel connected. Number one. Number two, many women feel they are not complete. They grow with the internal narrative of shame, blame. You need to be more of this. Why aren't you look like this? Your clothes, you're too fat, you're too skinny, you're not good enough. And those narratives, they still play in their mind. They still play in their mind that, it's part of that coming to terms with your life. And if they're past trauma, how do you come to them and let go of the past? Shame and guilt, you see that a lot in women. They mean different things. Guilt means you did something wrong. You apologize, you go fix it. You do redo. With shame, it means there's something wrong with you. You're not good enough. You start to corrode us. So women, typically when they come to therapy, they're very successful, but I feel that I just don't feel successful. I'm not good enough. My mom, when I go home, still looks at me and says, is that all? You just got promoted? What else? They're waiting for approval that never comes. They're waiting for the husband says, good enough, honey. I'm so proud of you. That never feels real. To know that what they really need to do is say, I am okay. I'm good because I see it. So that's number two. I belong and I'm complete. The other one that is actually quite fascinating, there's a need of I am. It's about the voice of your soul, of your conviction, of your belief. I stumbled upon this need almost 15 years ago in my coaching work with women executives. I started to notice many women, when they were talking with me, this is pre-COVID, so we were meeting right across the table from each other, there was a quality to their voice. It's almost like they're talking about there was a raspiness, like they were almost as if their throat was tight here. So I would tell them that, tell me about your voice. I'm noticing some of them, they would go, their hand was on their base of the throat or they're massaging their neck. Tell me about I see your hand over there. What does it mean? Mm-hmm. They would say, I feel a sensation, tightness around my neck. And I was telling them, what else is going on? I says, I do have shoulder pain, neck pain, even thyroid issue. What that means, there's a voice of a conviction that's certain you learned along the way of life to hold it back, to make it pleasing, to make it fit in, to just take your emotions. Sometimes they say, women at work say that you're too emotional. Keep you be factual. Basically, we're trying to program people that there's a way to talk. If you're a female executive, you need to talk like this, which never makes sense anyway. What we're trying to force people of a way of expressing. So the work became find you. Find your voice, your mojo. And the exercise I do, I play Katy Perry's song, Roar. Oh. And I ask them, show me your roar song. Oh. People hate it. Say, I cannot do that. Their voice doesn't come out. You realize they never experience really bring your power. And they learn how to fit in. They had to hold back the color of their voice, the energy, the melody, the rise and fall of their voices. So many women, more than men, struggle with that. With men, what they do, they overshoot. Like when they want to talk about the emotions, literally, whether in person or on Zoom, they get so loud. They get so boisterous. They get almost harsh.
To me, that seems more emotional.
Yeah. And then with men also, I'm talking loud because I want certain things happen. I'm taking your spouse or your partner, your colleague, they don't respond to that because there's a sense of force. You're commanding. That's how we raise our boys. You command the room. With women, is that trying to fit into the room and then you can get done, soft power. The work for women is that find your voice. You don't need to apologize to fit in. Your voice has a melody. Once you find it, you become unstoppable. And there's exercises in my book, in the chapter I Am, that is about find your voice. It's always been there for you.
I could talk to you forever, honestly. And It's transparently, I should say. This is so fascinating. And I think that the audience would also love more. So if someone's listening and they're thinking, I'm feeling unfinished, but I don't know where to start, what is the first practical step they should take?
Yeah, several things. Somehow life has told us that we love labels. The very practical step is that there's nothing wrong with you. There's absolutely nothing wrong with you. Like if somebody told us you're anxious, depressed, ADHD, those three actually go together. Anxiety, depression, ADHD go together. They're triples. The very first practical step to think about, growing up, you had to make choices to survive, to adapt. If you feel numbness, if you feel you're restless, you feel that, what am I doing here? Those are all adaptive responses that you get to a certain point that they don't work for you. Number one. Number two, instead of thinking about what's wrong with me, trying to fix what's wrong with me, almost less depressed, less anxious, less ADHD, what is the other way is that what has been waiting for me that I'm not doing? For example, for me, I run marathon. I'm not a young guy, but I run marathon as a way to tell my body, you can do hard things. Anything you need in life, dear listeners, you already have it and it's within you. Life told you to play defense, go fix it, then you're ready. My invitation to you, actually you're ready, go do it. Go to my book, Those 7 Needs. There are some foundational where you start. Start with the need, I belong. You need connection. So I'm not sure I take pride on this. The number of people who came to work with me after a 4th or 5th session said, you know what? I'm not in a right relationship. This relationship has boxed me in certain role. I need a different conversation. A few times people, they say, you know what? I'm done with this relationship. They left it. We try to help them to create a different compromises, but start with, are you in a right relationship, in right connection? Are you people who see you, allow you to break the mold, show up? When you do that, including your siblings, people freak out. People freak out when you go home and say that, what's wrong with you? What happened to that young girl or young man that I remember? So when you change the family dynamics and almost nobody likes it. These are the games you play to survive. So that's number 2. Think about your relationships and surround yourself. And I've done this in my life with people who are on the journey of growth. They appreciate you. They want to see your wild thing. Versus people say, I like that old person. That old person has changed. So look at the symptoms, surround yourself with the right people. And the third one is that do something every day, every week that scares you. Something different,
Warm sweating moment.
Yeah, something different, because when you go to anxiety, depression, all of that, we go to a lockdown situation, almost like a COVID of our life. Don't go out, don't talk, wash your hand, all of that. You start to believe all of nonsense. Your body is meant to be a lioness in Serengeti. Go wild, do something, even a small thing. Your body says, about time.
You've given us so much to think about. I'm going to put links to your book in the show notes and also a link to your website so that people can pull that PDF. Are there any parting words that you'd like to give us before we end?
Yes, the parting word, which is the story of my life when you read my book. I don't know about you, dear listener, but if you have labeled that you are depressed, anxiety, and so on, don't take it as life sentence. Science, I'm a science geek. Science is not a settled science. We are still evolving. So if you've given a label like that, if you come to believe you're depressed, anxiety, all of that is an invitation for your version, I don't know, 3.0, 4.0, and so on. See your struggle as an invitation that you are in a different neighborhood. It's time to put your shoes on and travel. Use your pain as energy to create your new you.
Yay. Thank you so much. I'm so happy to have you. I'm sure I'm going to have you back.
Thank you so much, Natalie. Loved it. Loved it. Thank you so much to you and to all the listeners.
Wow, what a powerful conversation. If you're anything like me, you're probably still processing everything we just discussed. One of the biggest takeaways for me is this idea that achievement and fulfillment are two different tracks, and they both matter. It's not about choosing one over the other. It's about recognizing that fulfillment isn't something we should delay until after we achieve something big. We have to actively pursue both. I couldn't stop thinking about this during our conversation. How easy it is to get caught up in pushing forward, achieving, checking the next box, believing that once we get there, we'll feel whole. But as we just heard, so many high achievers still feel empty with all their success because they've neglected the fulfillment track. And I'll be honest, I haven't always given equal weight to both tracks. Achievement has filled my ambitions, but I also have ambitions for fulfillment. And as a result of this conversation, I'm making a commitment to put them on equal footing. No more waiting until I've made it to start filling my own cup. And I invite you to do the same. Take a moment and ask yourself, not just, am I doing enough or did I check all the to-do boxes? But am I fulfilled? If the answer is no, it might be time to stop waiting and start prioritizing what truly brings you meaning. If you resonated with today's conversation, check out the show notes for links to Dr. Mehran's book and resources, including the Emotional Bill of Rights PDF. I'd love to hear your thoughts. So DM me, comment, or share your own takeaways from this episode. And remember, the ripples started and you are taking flight. Until next time, keep unsealing your potential.